Well, good afternoon and welcome to our Lunch and Learn here with Action Coaching Birmingham. It's great to have you with us. It's also great to have Katie Smith. Hi, Katie. How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
Good,
Thank you
good,
for
good.
having me.
No, it's great to have you with us, and we'll come back in a few moments, Katie, and just find out what the Pamper Place is all about. Pamper Place. I was going to say Palace then, Pamper Place, and we'll learn all about your business journey so far. But for those who are just joining us, either on the Zoom platform or we're broadcasting live on LinkedIn and Facebook, please do put any questions in the Q&A box. Put any questions in the comments underneath this feed on Facebook and on LinkedIn, and either myself or Katie will do our best to answer those as we go along. If you're not able to ask the questions during the live webinar, please do reach out to us and we'll absolutely make sure we connect with you afterwards and respond to any queries you may have. But it's absolutely delightful, as I said, to have Katie Smith with us. Katie, you've been working with The Body Shop as a consultant for quite some time, I think, haven't you? A couple of years now, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. It was October of 2017 when I joined as a consultant.
Brilliant. And it's we're going to talk a bit today about how we balance that work and life and look at different ways of generating an income from home in a more flexible approach. But Katie, before we talk about that, tell us a bit about your background and how you got into being a consultant working from home for The Body Shop.
So before becoming a consultant, I was working part-time in an admin position at a car sales place. And prior to that, I was an area manager and customer services manager for a driving school. So I used to help and support instructors to run their business. And I was actually made redundant when I was pregnant. So after having my eldest, Holly, I decided I wanted to go part-time. So I went to work at, in car sales in admin, just as a part-time position. So that's a little bit about sort of my background. So I've always been in sort of, I love talking to people and sort of not necessarily the selling side of it previously. It was always the customer service. That's really where I thrive, in giving great customer service to people.
I think one thing I've learned actually being an action coach for the last couple of years, and a BFO for me, and I'll explain what a BFO in a moment is, but every business owner, no matter what size of business you're in, or senior manager, we're all in the game of sales and marketing, aren't we? It doesn't matter whether we're at the top of we own the business or whether we're working for somebody else who owns the business. We all need to make sure we've got sales and marketing absolutely nailed. Otherwise, we have no business at all. And I'm sure every day, Katie, for you is about sales and marketing as well.
Absolutely. It's about sharing the opportunities that you've got and sharing the products, sharing what works for you. So for me, it's all about sharing and giving that great customer service in everything that you do. And what I love about this is that obviously I can include my children within that, because it's my business and that's how I choose to run it.
Absolutely, real inspiration for them as well. I'm sure seeing you build your business from home. For those of you who are wondering what a BFO is that I was just talking about a moment ago, it's that light bulb moment, a blinding flash of the obvious. And I'm sure there's going to be comments and conversation we have this lunchtime where you may have heard something before. It may just trigger a thought in your mind. It may connect bits of information together that you already knew. It's that aha moment when you suddenly realize you can do something different, or you can apply something in your business, or you've got the information you need to make a decision and take your business forward. So I hope that this Lunch and Learn, from my conversations with Katie, we will have some, or you'll have some BFOs from the conversation. So Katie, you've talked a bit about your previous roles that you had before starting your own business, but what was that trigger moment for you? What was that BFO that said, I'm going to go and start my own business? I mean, it's quite a big step for most of us to do. What was a trigger for you, and what was your thought process?
So for me, initially, it was that my youngest daughter, Evie, was just starting full-time school. So both of my children were in school. So I was in a
photo of them on the screen there. It's nice to see, actually.
Well, they are a big part of my business. They are a big part of what we do. So they're there front and centre. That screenshot there is taken from my group cover photo. So they are absolutely front and centre in my business.
Brilliant.
So I was, like I say, working part-time at the time, and with them both being in full-time school, I thought, well, I'm in a position now where I'd like to be able to work a bit more. I'd like to be able to do something else, but actually I didn't want to be working full-time through those summer holidays. So that was my big thing. What am I going to do? I looked at, do I try and work in a school admin? Do I go into something like that? I knew about this opportunity. It's actually someone in my family, my husband's cousin, who was with The Body Shop and doing incredibly well. And I'd seen her journey, and she'd actually asked me about it 4 years prior, when I was actually on maternity leave with Evie. But at the time, I didn't see it as a viable opportunity. You can't do this working from home and instead of going to work. How are you going to be able to do that? That was my mindset at the time, when she first asked me 4 years previously. So I thought, I love my part-time job, and I thought, I just want to earn an extra £200 a month. If I could earn an extra £200 a month, then that means that I wouldn't then have to find a full-time job, and I could still work part-time, still spend that time with my girls, the time that I was already having, but having that extra income come in. And I really did not know what to expect. I went in thinking, is this going to work? Are people going to compare what I'm doing to the person who introduced me? And I just thought, you know what, I need to stop thinking about this, and I need to just go for it. So I sent her a message, and the rest is history. So that's what spurred me on in the first place. I wanted an extra £200 a month, and I actually earned that within my first month. I was thinking that was going to take a while to sort of creep up to, and I really surprised myself as to how many people were actually willing to support and already loved the brand, that I didn't realise that they even bought the products previously.
I guess I know there's many. You work for The Body Shop. There's competitors. There's other
Absolutely.
industries. There's utility warehouse. There's all sorts of different businesses where you can have a similar working from home, or a work-life balance with. I guess the biggest challenge, or certainly from my own experience, but questioning, is that jump from it being a sort of a side income to being your main income, and being an income that you can actually live off without having to work anything else. How long did it take you to get from one to the next?
So I joined in the October, and I joined saying, I'm not going to go live. I don't want to build a team. I've not got time to do this. I've not got time. I was a nightmare, really. don't really know what to expect. I was doing a pantomime, so I was rehearsing for that. I was looking after the girls. It was like the worst time to start up a business, but at the same time, it was October. I thought, people are going to need some Christmas presents. Let's just give it a go. And I'm so glad that I did give it a go. So within those first few months, I was only looking at myself as a consultant. I wasn't looking at sharing the opportunity necessarily with people. And then I went to a meeting, and I saw all of these people who were building their business. And I just thought, if they can do it, I can do this. And I went to another meeting then in the February, which was our main conference. We have 2 conferences a year, and it's not a sit down with your pencils conference. It's a shake your pom-poms and get your whistles out. It was absolutely incredible and so inspirational. And I saw all of these people going across the stage and getting sashes. I normally have them up behind me, but we're having a rewire at the minute, so they've all actually been taken down. And I saw them going across that stage, and I literally thought to myself, if they can do it, I can do this. And by the end of that month, I'd built my team. And so in the February, I promoted as an area manager. And by the following month, I was earning more from The Body Shop than I was from my part-time job. So I then made the decision, well, if I'm doing this part-time, and there was times where I was at my job where I just didn't feel that I was focusing properly. I wanted to be working more with my business. So I didn't feel as though I was giving my all anymore to my job. And it felt like, actually, if I could leave that, how much more time could I spend on my business? So that's why I made the decision. So basically, in short, I was already then at that stage earning more than my part-time wages in my part-time job with the Body Shop at home. So I then made the decision, right, let's go for it. What have I got to lose? So
so you
yes.
had your own BFO at that point, your own Blinding Flash of the Obvious. It actually made more sense to focus all your energy and all your time on setting up and developing your new business.
Yeah.
In terms of, just want to touch on it, we'll come on to the last 12 months in a moment, but in terms of that, alongside, you say you've got 2 lovely children, we saw a photo of a moment ago, and work and home life. How has that worked for you in terms of having a business, being at home, having a family at home as well? I'm sure there's been challenges as well as disadvantages as well as advantages.
Yeah. So the main thing that I love is not having to ask anybody to have that time off. Now the DPD man is here, and I can hear that my husband is also on a call. So if I can get his attention I do apologise. I knew this was going to happen.
You said before that your delivery of Body Shop was going to come just as we go live, and that's
and my
the way of the
husband
world.
Was on hand ready. That's fine. Yeah, thank you. He's just saw me. All is good. Apologies about that. It's my Body Shop delivery.
You need that to keep the business going, don't you? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Keep happy.
So sorry, where was I? I totally lost my.
I was asking you about the balancing of
yes.
working from home, having the children, being a mum, family life, and having
then the DPD man comes.
And the DPD man comes. But I guess in terms, just very practically, you've got a lovely setup there, space wise. There's all these different things to consider. How has that worked for you?
So this little space that you can see here, this is the corner of my living room, dining room. So it's actually, you can make and create a space out of anything. So you don't have to think, oh, well, that looks nice behind. You don't need to have anything to be a consultant. So when I first started, it was just, like I say, I didn't have the confidence to go live. I didn't have that sort of the drive even. It was just see how it goes.
Just then, for listeners, Katie, when you talk about going live, what do you mean?
Oh, sorry. That? So in my Facebook, so I have a Facebook group, and that's where at the moment, currently, that's predominantly where I share information, share offers. I do live tutorials, so I can do a makeup look or do some skincare. We also have Pamper Place TV on a Sunday at 7 o'clock, where my husband and my children get involved, and we go live. And everyone plays a game. It's quite good fun if you want to join in.
Sounds amazing fun, actually. Yes, yeah.
It is.
My 9-year-old daughter would love it, I'm sure.
It is great fun, and you can win prizes as well. I do little prizes. So yeah, back to balance. So what I love about having my own business is that I no longer have to have that moment of the girls have got a sports day, or they've got an assembly or something that they need, or they're not feeling very well, and having that moment of, even though my previous where I was working, they were amazing, they were so supportive in moving around because I was working part-time, there's still that moment where you have to ask someone else's permission to look after your children, in effect, because you're having to ask for permission to be able to not go into work to be able to do that. And I no longer have to do that. So I absolutely love being able to work around my children and have them as the priority. So the way that I do that is that I can literally work from my phone. So I can be anywhere. We can be at the park, and while they're on the park things to an extent, I can be working from the park, and I'll also be looking at sort of creating opportunities when you're out and about as well. So I might be doing something and then think, oh, actually, I'll take a picture of that, and that can then create content for your group or for your profile. When I say profile, I mean for my Facebook profile, because I work both with my group and also on my actual Facebook profile as well. because obviously your Facebook profile is a great tool for your business, because you're then connecting with new people, which can then lead into building your customer base on your group as well. So with me, I am very lucky. My girls are very good. They are 7 and 10 now, but obviously when I was first starting, they were 4 and 7. So I think the balance, the life balance that you have changes as they grow older as well.
Yes,
and because they have grown up with it, if you like, for the last 3.5 years, and they are a big part of my business, so they'll come on the lives with me. I have actually said to them today to just stay upstairs today, because normally you'll have Evie just popping on my shoulder just to say hi to people. So they're literally, like I say, a huge part of my business.
Sounds like they're doing a much longer training into being your own sales force in a couple of years. So I can imagine when they get to secondary school, they're going to be selling for you, aren't they?
Well, there's been times where Holly's come home from school and said, "Mommy, can I take a catalogue in tomorrow? Because I was speaking to Mrs. such and such, and they love the Body Shop." Okay. And when I went to a parents' evening, and they were talking about everything about the business, and seeing their confidence grow, they'll do what we call kids takeover lives. So they'll do a kids takeover on my group, where they will talk about their favorite product, or they'll play a game. And don't get me wrong, they're children, so it doesn't always go as you would hope it would. But yes, it's great fun, and it's amazing to be able to really have them. Like I say, they are at the heart of my business.
Brilliant. It's lovely to hear. And so you've been doing this for 3 years. So you were doing it for 2 years before 2020, which we thought was going to be new decade,
Yes.
starting with new ambitions, new aspirations. But then we all know what happened just over a year ago with lockdown. Where was your business at that stage, and what was going through your mind as we went into lockdown last March in those initial few weeks?
So as we went into lockdown, I had a team of consultants. So that's the way that sort of it works with my business. I have my own personal business, and then I help and support other consultants and help them to grow their business as well. So that's basically how it works. At that point, we really didn't know whether we would even be able to continue. As it was first coming out, I remember having Zoom meetings with other managers within our region, and literally being like, oh, what's going to happen? Are we going to be able to carry on? Obviously, at that point, a big part of my business was partying. So when I say partying, it's a case of going and doing a home party. So I would have somebody who would invite, say, 6, 10, 20 people around to their house, and we would all do facials with each other. We'd share the products, and obviously with hygiene and samples and everything else. Yeah. But it was really a
that
good
relationship-based selling was really key to business. Yeah.
So that face-to-face connection that you have, and obviously that's a great way to be able to build your business as well, because you might only know that host, that one person, and then you're then connecting with potentially 6, 10, 20 people from just being out for a couple of hours for a party. It's great fun. And then you'd be able to give that host some free products and earn from it at the same time. I went a bit off track there, sorry. I went back.
It's nice to hear how your business was pre-lockdown.
I went back to pre-lockdown, and then we didn't know how it was going to be, other than we couldn't party anymore. And I did have my social media presence, but what I would describe it as is as a top up to my business. So I would have my partying, my events, and that side of the business. That was my bulk of my business. And then the social media side of it was more of a top up, a way for me to still be connected with people in between those parties. So we really didn't know what was going to happen, but the Body Shop have been absolutely incredible. We first had to, obviously, because it's a warehouse, so we had to reduce capacity of people being able to work in the warehouse. So that then meant that we had some stock issues and things, as you would expect. Our delivery times went a bit longer, but they actually built and created a second warehouse and got it up and running within 3 weeks, which
Wow.
is just, to look back on that now, is just absolutely, it's crazy. How can you get a fully functioning warehouse up and running? But that was, they knew that, obviously head office, they knew that that was a big part of it. We needed to have that social distancing within the warehouse team. So we then had 2 warehouses to then work from. So that was a huge turning point when we then actually thought to ourselves, okay, we're still going to be able to carry on. What we didn't then expect necessarily is then how that was going to have an effect to the growth of the business. And it has been absolutely phenomenal, because people needed to be able to work from home. People needed an opportunity where they were furloughed or they were unable to work in their normal circumstances. So having something like the Body Shop at Home that you can start up with a very relatively small startup fee,
Yes, yeah.
you can then start your business. So you've not got to think about all those other outgoings. You can literally start your business with a starter kit and your phone, and you never know where that's going to lead.
So many more people have turned to the Body Shop, and I guess to other similar structured businesses to work as from home, as home consultants, home sales. In terms of you talked about the business growing in terms of people turning to take that opportunity on. Has it also grown in, I presume it has, in terms of clients and customers who aren't able to get to retail?
Yeah.
But equally, I presume you've then had to change your systems and processes to get your products out.
Yeah, so we have had, again, some amazing support from the team, from our team. They are absolutely incredible. So they were able to reduce our delivery fees so that we could actually get more of our products out to our customers at that reduced delivery fee, which really helped us and our customers, that we didn't have to have that any contact at all. So if people are local, I can still do a literally a social distance drop-off delivery.
Yes.
I did some yesterday where literally I'll drop the bag outside, let's ring the doorbell, step back, and then they've got their products. But even more important than that, we had the direct ship function where we can just direct ship it straight from the warehouse, straight to our customer. So there was no need to have that sort of in between, and that really did help to be able to connect with different people. And especially sort of in the beginning, you had people who didn't want to go out. Even when the shops were open, they didn't want to necessarily be going out. So we were able to provide that service of those essential items, essentially, where you've got shampoos, conditioners, anything that you need. It's not just about sort of the non-essential items. You've got essential items as well, which is obviously how we've been able to carry on doing what we've been doing. But we saw a massive increase on our customers because you've got more people at home that are actually watching us as well. Just from that point of view, you've got more people watching too.
Yes, absolutely, and in ourselves included, using social media, whether it's Facebook, LinkedIn, etc., has given us the reach much bigger than just Birmingham. We've had listeners from France, from over in Canada, and all over the UK as a result of being online. In terms of your business, Katie, I presume pre-lockdown you would have been working much more within sort of a geographical limitation. I don't know if you're strictly limited or not, but going online, how have you managed that? And are you still able to sell across the UK yourself, or are you still restricted into who you can work with and sell to?
So as an independent consultant, you can provide products to anybody within the UK. So I've always had people right from the beginning. I've had some people in Scotland, Wales, anywhere in the UK, you can get those products sent out directly. So I've always sort of had that. But what I would say is that has now sort of grown even more, because what you tend to find then is, as you're giving that good customer service and people then recommend you to their friends, and people realise that actually you can get products out to them and you don't have to be in Birmingham at all, then the word gets out there, and that's when your customer base can grow. And the same with consultants. I've always had consultants from all over the UK. So in that way, it hasn't necessarily changed. It's just more that the volume has increased, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. And sorry, I've got a question actually on the Q&A. So you've talked a lot about going live on Facebook, yep, or using Facebook. Any tips for anybody who has a fear of going live and doing live webcasts, live webinars, live tutorials online?
So the first thing is, the first time is nerve-wracking. There's no getting away from that, but just do it. Just do it. And now you might be thinking, oh yeah, that's great advice, but that is the best advice you could have. Have something that you want to talk about. Know what you're talking about before you go live. So for me, I would just think, okay, so this morning I'm going to go live and I'm going to do, just because it's here, I'm going to do an eye makeup look. Now, my customers don't expect a makeup artist. I'm very, very clear. I'm not a makeup artist, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I use this product. So it's a case of find something that you feel comfortable with. Don't feel as though you've got to be on there for a set amount of time. And when you are live, don't worry about who's watching you, because you might well find in some cases there's actually no one that watches your live, and at first that can be a bit disheartening, but people will watch back. So just do it. Don't delete it. Even if no one's watched, they will watch back. And choose something that you feel confident in.
Yeah, I completely agree with what you're saying, Katie. I reminds me of a conversation I had with my colleagues in December 2019, and we talked about, well, should we start doing some e-learning online so people can access nothing? I was saying, no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to go online. But, you know, sort of March last year brought about that moment where sort of we had no choice, and actually have never looked back since. And I'm not saying I'm by any means perfect at doing what I do. There's always room for improvement in all of us, but you're absolutely right. We just need to get on and do it and learn from every single experience, including this very webinar now. You know, I'm sure there'll be things I would do differently if I was going to go back and do it again. But it's great having you with us. One question I've also got from Sarah, who's listening, is how do you balance? You talked about balancing work life in terms of diary, and is there any tips in terms of making sure you've got the time set to one side that you need to work on your business, because there can be so many competing times and interruptions and kids and school, etc., etc.
So my main thing would be is it's not necessarily how much time you have, it's what you do with the time that you have. So don't worry about the fact that you've only got an hour to spend on your business, but don't wait until the beginning of that hour to decide what you're going to do with your business.
Absolutely.
Even if it's 10 minutes, if you know you've got 10 minutes, think to yourself, you know what, I'm going to have 10 minutes at 6 o'clock tonight before I start the tea. So what I'm going to do in that 10 minutes is I'm going to contact 3 people. Now, don't just think I'm going to contact 3 people. Who is it that you're going to contact? If you think that you're going to do a live, what are you going to do a live on? If you wanted to create some content, what are you going to create that content on? So basically, it's not necessarily about, like I say, having huge amounts of time. It's about making the most of the time you have. So we call it a power hour, and that power hour doesn't necessarily need to be an hour. It could be that 15 minutes, but it's planning for what you're going to do in that time, because otherwise you get that hour flies by and you find you've scrolled through Facebook, and then you have the mum guilt that you've not spent the time with your children in that hour, and actually you've not got anything done with your business either. So it's a case of preparing for what you're going to do with the time that you have. I hope that helps.
No, I'm sure it does. Hopefully, Sarah, you'll find that useful. We talk, you've probably heard the one of those phrases, fail to plan, plan to fail. The other thing I would say, Sarah, on top of what Katie's great advice is what I call eat your frog. So if there's one thing you've been procrastinating about and not doing, do that first. Get it done. and make the most of those power hours, you know. And I would say, you know, make sure each week you're taking time to work on your business, not just in your business. And it sounds like, well, Katie's doing that on a regular basis. But eat the frog, do that one thing you don't want to do, because then everything else tastes much better than eating the frog.
I've just written that down, eat your frog, because I love that.
Absolutely.
that's one that I'll be using. Thank you.
Yes, it's a phrase we use here at Action Coach, and there's various books on it as well. But you know, why do they say eat the frog? Because it probably tastes disgusting, but if you do it first, the rest of your day, or the rest of your hour, if it's an hour you're spending, or even the rest of your 15 minutes, will feel so much better once you've phoned that difficult customer, once you've done that bit of, you know, whether it's doing your tax returns or whether it's doing your invoicing. Get that thing done first, and then do everything else afterwards. The fun things, you've still got the fun things to look forward to. Katie, in terms of the last 12 months, you know, from what you said, is you were doing lots of face-to-face relationship selling. You've then gone online. As we come out of this torrential, awful situation, and you know, there's going to be many changes. It will stay with us permanently.
Yeah.
What will change, or what has changed in your business that will stay with you permanently, and what would you look forward to going back to doing after lockdown has ended?
So the ultimate answer to that is who knows, because it's not just about what I would like to do, it's about what people actually feel comfortable doing. Absolutely. So going into a room of people where we've had the last 12 months of not having anyone in your house, to then have a pamper party, how are people going to feel about that? So it's really a case of making sure that I can make that other person that wants to have that pamper party feel as comfortable as they are, and putting things in place to make sure that we can be extra. I talked earlier when I said about our parties, we've always been obviously hygiene, on making sure you're using spatulas and things, that's the obvious things, but you would obviously have to take it to that next level. So there's that. As far as pamper parties, I can't wait to be able to get out there and actually see face-to-face people again, and going and doing events. So that is always going to be a big part of my business. But I think that we've learned in the last 12 months that actually we can be so resilient, and it's a case of just moving. I'm going to say move the cheese. I don't know if you've heard of that book before, but it's something that we refer to, who moved the cheese. So when that cheese moves, you have to go and find a way, get a way to find it again. So it's really a case of moving with the times. I'm going to carry on doing what I'm doing with our social media side of the business, and as and when things open up, and I can go and do some garden parties, really excited to do garden parties as we move into the summer, with people, and building people's confidence into how to share the products in different ways.
And which all sounds absolutely brilliant, you know, having that almost a 21st century spin. I always say to colleagues and family, it feels like we've been dragged forwards a whole decade, doesn't it, in terms of how we communicate and how we do business. You know, the virtual, I never thought this time last year I'd be doing a birthday party with 3 generations on Zoom, you know, and I'd advise, no, don't try doing a class party on Zoom. It was a challenge in itself, but we tried it. You know, I would never have thought of doing that a year ago. You know, you're absolutely right. As the cheese moves, we need to find new ways of finding the cheese. In terms of the cheese moving again and people going back into the workplace, resuming some sort of new normality, do you think there'll still be a desire for people to start their businesses as you have, and have sort of a part-time business at home? Or do you think, you know, people will find that too much? What's your thoughts?
I think that people will always have that desire to work from home, and in some ways I think that there'll be even more of an increased desire to do it, because in a way they've got used to being at home now. They've got used to sort of spending that time, whatever it is they're doing. It's not all about the children. It is for me, but it's not necessarily for everybody. If you think about back to when I first joined, that was pre all of this. And I first joined because I wanted to find a little bit, something for me, a little bit of an extra income to top up my part-time job. And to be honest, I think that's the main reason that people do. They want to have something for them, or they want to build the confidence, or they want to have a little bit of extra income. So I don't think that that's ever going to necessarily go away, because it's a big part of what people want. People want that bit more, don't they?
And do you mind me asking, Katie, how many hours do you spend a week working on your business, or so in your business in total versus doing other things that are non-work related?
That's a question. So I do spend a lot of time on my business, but
Would you
what I
class it
love
as
is,
full time? Is it, do you do full
yeah,
time
I would
hours?
say I would fill in full-time hours
Right.
with what I do with my business, but that's my choice. That's what I want to do. I love what I do, and for me, it's not just about the sharing of the products. It's also about the making sure that my consultants that are coming in with my team and training them, and also helping to provide training for our wider region as well. So for me, it's this time that I spend on my business isn't just with the sharing of the products to gain personal sales. It's about helping to train the team and the teams to be able to be and gain the confidence that I have to be the best consultants that they can be, and earn what they want to achieve.
And clearly your passion for, in fact, somebody called Amanda Orcock, you may well know, I don't know, a raving fan of yours on here, says, Katie, you're amazing. I'm so proud of everything you've achieved. So clearly you're doing lots of things really well, Katie. My next question is, in terms of, obviously you love your passion for your business, and the Body Shop comes over in abundance, which is great. Do you think you could apply that, if I was to say, give you a different opportunity with say Utility Warehouse or another business? I'm just using them because they're on top of my mind. Is it about finding the right fit for you, or is it about finding the right structure for you in terms of the right partner to work with?
I think that it can be a bit of both. So for me, obviously you want to go with your passion. And when I first started, I didn't have a passion for the Body Shop. I liked a few of the products that I'd tried, and I knew that the Body Shop brand was strong. So that's why I chose the Body Shop, because it is a brand that is very well known. Anyone you speak to knows of that brand. So that was a huge factor for me deciding to go with the Body Shop for my journey. So you've got to do something that is in line with you. So if you have a passion for something else, absolutely you can do it in whatever form you want to. But obviously, as you can tell, my absolute passion is with the Body Shop, because I just love everything that it stands for, and the confidence that being part of our incredible team has given me. And also in the last 3.5 years, I've seen the growth that's been there. From being in those first meetings where and speaking about sort of what we were turning over at that time, and now seeing the phenomenal growth in the last 3.5 years has just been absolutely incredible. And for me, there's a lot more to the Body Shop with community fair trade. So many things I haven't even touched on, but I won't start that because you will not get me to shut up then.
I think it's important to understand, how much of it is about having a passion for the actual brand and the product versus the desire to work flexibly and all the other benefits that clearly having your own business at home brings as well.
You have to find what you feel is a good fit for you at the end of the day. So Body Shop's not going to be for everybody. That's absolutely fine. But it is such an amazing opportunity that you have to be able to work from home. And obviously, if there was anybody that was thinking more about this for the Body Shop and you'd like to have more information, then as always, I'm looking to help to guide new consultants to create their own business, whatever they're looking at. Because some people will just want to earn an extra £20 here and there, and other people will be needing a bit more, and other people want to go far up the career plan. And there's really something for everyone with the Body Shop.
It sounds great. And so with that in mind, if we have somebody, more than one, maybe many people listening either in delay or live today, who are thinking about opportunities and what to do next, they may be on furlough, they may sadly have lost their work, or they may be in full-time employment, want to have that flexibility and choice that you've talked with so much passion about, what would you say to them? What's your advice right now?
So the first thing is, do you have a passion? Because if you have a passion already, then that makes sense to go down that route. if that makes sense. So if you've already got something where you're using products, or you have some great reviews from a company and you're thinking about it, then that's obviously going to be a route to go down. I didn't necessarily have, like I say, I didn't have the passion for the Body Shop when I first started, but that really has, it's cut me in half, and it's there now. It's just, I just absolutely love everything about it. So on the other flip side, you might not have a passion for anything at the moment, and that's absolutely fine. The opportunity that we've got here, obviously with the Body Shop at Home, if you want to do that, then please come to me, and I'll be able to sort of help and guide you to get a brilliant start with that business. But like I say, if you haven't got a passion for something at the minute, just try. What have you got to lose from starting something?
And in terms of those first steps, so I don't know, how did you come into contact with finding the Body Shop was the right fit for you, and what steps would you advise them to take to go and research and find the perfect match for them?
Well, there's so many things that are out there, and I think that it's about not just finding the company, but it's also about finding the person, because you need to be able to connect with that person. And although it's not all about your upline at all, it's not just about that person that you're connecting with, it does really help, especially when you're first starting out and being introduced into a company. So had I not had the support of the people that I sort of have had within my team, would I be where I am now? Maybe not. And to be honest, probably not, because I wouldn't have had that self-belief in myself. But I had that instilled in me from people within my business. So don't just look at the company, look at the people that you're actually going to be. So have that conversation with them and be open. Ask questions that you want to have asked. Don't think, well, I don't want to ask that. What will they think of me if I ask that? Ask the questions, because once you then have asked those questions, you can then see how that person deals with your questions. Does that make sense? So
Absolutely.
that you can.
It's as much about the relationships, not only as you're going to be building with your clients, but the support you're going to get from the business, the organization you're buying into effectively. So it's about getting that perfect fit and understanding what they tick, what makes them tick, and what makes you tick, and is there some synergy there that to help you to be able to work together?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So Katie, you've told us an awful lot about your business over the last 12 months and the last 3 years, and about the family. If we were to be doing having this conversation again in 2031, where do you see yourself? What's next for you?
So I am going big. I'm all in with the Body Shop at Home. So I'm currently a senior area manager, which means that I've got around about 60 people in my team, and 3 of those are managers. So there's 4 teams including my own. So that's where I'm at the minute. But there's no limit. I'm going to be up there with your triple vice presidents, triple sapphire presidents. That's the plan, and carry on climbing. But that is all about sharing. It's all about sharing the opportunity with people. It's about helping people and providing that training for them, and sharing the opportunity to actually buy the products as well.
You're going to be the next Anita Roddick. I think, was it Anita Roddick who started the Body Shop? I think
yeah,
it was,
so Anita, absolutely. Oh, don't get me started. She's such an incredible woman. So to have sort of, whenever you hear the stories of Anita Roddick, and again, that's part of what I love about this business, is that we do have the history of the brand, and I could tell you a few stories, but it's amazing to see what one woman can achieve by making a decision to try. Is just absolutely crazy.
That applies to us all, isn't it? You said earlier on, just do it. If you've got an ambition or got an inkling you want to do something, then just go and try it. Make that decision and be brave. We've talked a lot about work-life balance, but I do love this quote, Katie. I'm just going to share with you. There's no such thing as work-life balance. The balance has to be within us, each one of us. And I think that's really important. We've got to have the right mindset and really be prepared to work harder on ourselves and to look inwards to really make any business a real success. And I think it's a real testament, again, to the comments that have come in whilst you've been on live, Katie, about you and your business, which is fantastic to see.
Thank you.
And what you've got to share with us here at Action Coach and with everyone who's listening. I hope I'm sure you've been an inspiration to many people at whatever stage or age they are in terms of their business and their careers, that if they're thinking about starting something different, about taking that next step, I'm sure you having encouraged them and enthused them to look into it in more detail and to be brave. Absolutely. And to overcome that fear, because we talk at Action Coach about fear being false expectations appearing real. It's all in the mind. As you said, the only way to overcome that is just to get on and do it, isn't it? And it's really important. So, and it's lovely to hear about your little, your young girls. They're not little anymore, are they? At 10, they're growing up so quick. But to hear how it's not just you in the business, but it's a family affair. It's the whole, all 4 of you supporting the business. Your husband's there taking in the deliveries. Your children will be doing the demos later on. It's brilliant. I just got something. Paul has just raised a hand, or maybe he's not. No, I thought I had a raised hand for a question there. But just while we're just taking in for any more questions, Katie, obviously I would just want to put your contact details on the screen again. Anything you want to share in terms of offers, or how people can get in contact with you if they want to find out more about your business or the Body Shop, or how to work alongside you, or your products, anything you want to share on that side.
So I do have my Facebook group. So it is, as you can see on the screen, the Pamper Place by Katie. So if you just go to groups and then just search the Pamper Place by Katie, you will be able to join my group. In there, we have so much fun. It is a real community. And what I loved quite recently, someone who had just joined, and when I say joined, I mean as a member of the group, not necessarily even as a customer, but how they felt as though they could engage with us straight away. So it really is a community feel of that group, and we share all things Body Shop, but also about my family as well. So you've got lots of, like I say, Pamper Place TV on a Sunday, bingo on a Thursday. There's lots of good fun in there and offers as well. So if you do need anything Body Shop, please think of me, and just go to the Pamper Place by Katie, and you'll see my face pop up with different lives. If you are looking to ask questions, I'm not going to say join the business. I'm going to say if you're looking to ask questions about joining the business, then please just give me a call, drop me an email, or even a messenger if you want to, whatever you feel most comfortable with, and ask any questions that you want to. We are looking to be able to get more consultants into our business. Like I say, I'm absolutely aiming high and looking to take as many people with me on the way. So if you want to become a consultant or find out more information about how to do it, just drop me a message. We can see if it's right for you, and then you can get started.
Brilliant. So if you're thinking about it, want to do that due diligence, find that, ask those questions, without any strings attached, have a conversation with Katie. I'm sure she'll give you an honest overview and account of her journey as you have this lunchtime, Katie. But I'm sure it's for many people it's provoked more questions that they may want to ask directly with you and have that conversation. So
Absolutely.
Please do make contact with Katie. I'm tempted to sign up my daughter to your Facebook page, Katie, but I know it's going to cost me a small fortune in the process, because she'll just want to buy everything, being a 10-year-old girl, just getting into makeup and hair products, etc. But I'm sure it is a great way to promote your business. And I just love all the businesses I've talked to throughout lockdown, how they've pivoted and thought of new and different ways to keep going, not just to survive but to thrive. And I often talk about the florist who works with the greengrocer, because the florist had the man and van and the greengrocer had the products working together. And that's what being business is all about. It's about thinking outside the box, thinking creatively, and thinking, how can I take my business forwards over the coming weeks and months and years. So it's been great learning all about your business, Katie.
Thank you for having me. I've really enjoyed it.
No, it's great, and I would love to have you back again. If, like Katie, you would like to grow your business, we do offer our 30x Growth Club here at Action Coach. We have 30 years of business experience packed up into 30 videos. Like Katie, we've had to take our business online as well. So we've got these videos which you can do in your own time. You can work them around other pressures, other commitments in your days and weeks. It also includes a 90-day business planning session, so you can learn how to eat that frog and have a clear plan of how to grow your business. And it includes an accountability call. Accountability is so key when it comes to growing your business and making sure that you're not just talking the talk, as Katie was saying earlier on, but you're actually doing, you know, that power hour. You're not just talking about the power hour, but you're actually doing it. And to help you do it, it's about having that accountability. So we do the group coaching there as well. And that's just £30 a week, including VAT. And there's no contract at all. So if you want to try for a while, see if it's for you, and then duck out, that's great. If you want to try, like many of our clients, and carry on, then it also, you know, those 30 videos can really help you grow every aspect of your business. So if you're interested in that, please do get in touch with myself. If you're interested in finding out about opportunities with not just a body shop, but actually having your own business working from home, Katie will have that conversation, talk to you about how it's worked for her, and answer many of your questions as well. Or if you simply just want to pamper yourself, yeah, and whether it's a bath bomb or some new hair shampoo, whatever it is, I don't need hair shampoo, as you can see, but but no, if you're interested in Body Shop products, then absolutely come and have a chat with, you know, make contact with Katie or log on to her Facebook page there as well. But Katie, it's been absolutely fantastic. It's been giving us a real insight into a different aspect of business that I guess for many people don't realize is going on behind closed doors in probably every street, every country, every part of the country. There are people like yourself running their businesses from home very, very successfully. And it's great that you've been able to share that with us today, and hopefully, what I'm sure, inspired others to follow in your footsteps.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
As I said at the beginning, it's great to have you. As I said at the beginning, this video will be on LinkedIn, it'll be on Facebook and on YouTube later on. So if you're listening to this in delay, please do still reach out, put any comments on our in the comments box below, and we'll make sure that either myself or Katie reach out to you as well. But for now, thank you again, Katie, so much for joining us. Stay well, stay safe, and we all look forward to that drink in wherever we're going to be able to go. And I'm sure you'll be looking forward to your garden parties and your pamper parties again, either down the pub or at home, wherever they are. But you know, everyone stays well, stay safe, and we look forward to catching up with you next Monday. Take care now. Bye-bye.
Bye.